I've always thought that I know that I need to join an Inn of Court, but why and what for? So in this video, I'll be going over what are the Inns of Court and why are they so important. Hello everyone and welcome back to a video from me, Dani the Barrister. Now in today's video we are going to be talking about this thing that when I was researching about how to become a barrister and all the different things and steps I had to take, this phrase came up and I really was not that aware of what it meant and what it was, and it took a lot of research to gather a good enough understanding of what this body, I guess, was. So today I'll be talking about the Inns of Court. I'll draw upon how many of them there are, I'll talk about what they do and how we would benefit from them as aspiring barristers. So I really hope this video is helpful because, again, when I was researching into how to become a barrister, this is something that I had to do on my own. So I guess I really hope this video would help you all out with some initial knowledge. Again, this list is not exhaustive at all, and what I'm saying is not everything there is to know about Inns of Court, but this is just some basic knowledge that I think would be super valuable if you're not sure what a Inn of Court is. So of course, a good place to start off with is, what is an Inn of Court? Well, an Inn of Court is essentially an institution. There's multiple of them, but the bracket name for all of the little bodies that make up this institution is Inns of Court. They have really deep historical importance in terms of the legal profession in the UK. Essentially, they are the only body that are able to certify individuals to become barristers. And this is where we get the phrase unregistered and registered barristers from, because they are crucial in ensuring that barristers can transfer to being registered barristers. So now that we have defined what an Inn of Court is in very basic and simple terms, I think the next thing that's important to know is what is its makeup. What makes the Inns of Courts? And it is formed of 4 bodies as in such, or 4 Inns of Court individually. And their names are Middle Temple, Inner Temple, Gray's Inn and Lincoln's Inn. They all are very different but generally offer the same services and protections of aspiring barristers and barristers. An individual will become a member of one of these institutions and bodies or Inn of Courts, and that they will be given certain privileges, but the main thing is, of course, that this inn will be the body that would call them to the bar. Now, calling to the bar is a very archaic, in a sense, term, but very proud and historic term for just pushing an individual to that stage where they can actually call themselves an unregistered or registered barrister. Now, this is always and only after they've completed their studies in the bar course and, of course, have become a member of an Inn of Court, and the Inn of Court would then call upon them to say that we acknowledge that you can then go and get pupillage, then tenancy, and claim to be a barrister. Now, each Inn of Court has its differences. Some are more prestigious, some have deep roots in social justice and social movements and have a really diverse membership. Some have a lot of money. So it's always worth researching, if you haven't already, what the different Inns of Court offer, and I'll be happy to do a video stating out the things that I know about the different Inns of Court, because again, I did a lot of research when I was deciding what Inn of Court I wanted to be part of. I am part of Inner Temple, so that's just for knowledge worth. That brings me on nicely to the next point. Why are they so important? What do they do? Beyond being called to the bar, why do we have to, as aspiring barristers, sign up to be part of an Inn of Court? The 4 different Inns of Court offer different privileges and services, but generally the main things that Inns of Court offer are scholarships, mentoring from practitioners in the fields that you may want to pursue a career in law in, marshalling schemes. So I've seen a lot of Inns of Court offer marshalling schemes, financial support. Once you've gotten to that point where you are a barrister, there are schemes that offer financial support to barristers, which is actually quite an interesting thing to consider, because one would assume after the amount of hard work and studying a barrister does that finances shouldn't so much be an issue. But as we know, with cuts to legal aid, there's been a lot of issues financially for barristers. So that's definitely something that, if you are wanting to pursue a career in a certain field, to look into how your Inn of Court can benefit and protect you and support you once you do reach that point of being a barrister. Next is when, where, how do you become part of an Inn of Court? Well, most inns require aspiring barristers to become part of an inn some months before they start their bar course. If you are planning to do your bar course this year in September, make sure you do your membership this month essentially, because the deadline is coming up for that. And often you'd have to pay your fee. Again, this brings up questions with accessibility, but there is a fee of sometimes £100 to £120 to become a member. You do an application form and send that application form off to the inn, and then when that gets accepted, you're an official member of that Inn of Court. You must be thinking, why do we as aspiring barristers have to sign up for an Inn of Court before we have done our bar course and before we have even entertained pupillage applications? Well, one important step to becoming a barrister is something called qualifying sessions. These are conducted by your Inn of Court and have to be completed in order for you to be called to the bar. And again, as I stated at the beginning, if you're not called to the bar, you cannot practice as a barrister at any point, and you can't give yourself the label of registered or unregistered barrister. So these qualifying sessions are crucial to becoming a barrister, and they must be completed before you get called to the bar. So many people do them before their bar course or during their bar course, just to get them out the way, spread them across a period of time. So I guess the sooner you apply, the better. But again, I applied a couple months before my bar course, and I had no problems with that. And I'm planning to do a video with what qualifying sessions are in more depth, but simply it is sessions that can be events, talks, brunches and dinners, where you just get to have a good insight into the profession, and you get to be educated and share your knowledge as well as gain knowledge about the legal profession, the law, the bar. And those are what qualifying sessions are, as a very simple explanation. So to sum up, I think it would be quite nice to just put forward, why are they so important? Well, of course, they are a major source of support for people that are wanting to be barristers and are barristers. So they're this nice little hub that all these people that are interested in the bar can come together and feed off of each other's knowledge and understandings and experiences. They provide this, which is in itself, I think, its main importance, because without that, the bar can be a quite lonely profession, and it can be a quite secretive profession. But with these Inn of Courts, it creates this community that is beyond and bigger than a chambers. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to lawcareers.net, and of course go over to my channel, Dani the Barrister, and subscribe there. I won't be having a corresponding video on my channel for this video, but make sure you still go over there, because I'll be doing more in-depth video on Inns of Courts very, very soon.